Hey everyone, how are you? How are you doing? Thank you all so much for coming back. Lately, Oda has just been releasing banger after banger after banger with these One Piece chapters. And there are so many mysteries being revealed, but also new mysteries have risen. When we heard about the SSG, many theories and speculations were thought up of what the SSG could be. But before we get into this video, please like, share, and subscribe. Now let's get into it. So when the SSG were first mentioned by the Marines in chapter 957, the community was completely shocked, but it made perfect sense in many facets. Not only would the warlords be disbanded, but whatever this SSG is would be able to rival the power of the warlords, and it's implying that it could rival the power of a Yonko crew. The warlords, under the governance and protection of the world government, still caused havoc and chaos in the world. The government couldn't realistically control them the way they set out to. At the end of the day, the warlords are still pirates. With the world government, it's all about control and making your underlings obey you completely without question. And with this new SSG weapon, I really believe that they will have that control. With Kuma being submissive to the world government and made into a cyborg by Vegapunk, we can safely assume that something similar to that will be the new weapon. Now, although Kuma already had pacifistas created in his image, I don't believe the world government will use him as the model anymore. What we do know is Vegapunk was able to use the light from Kizaru's Devil Fruit ability in order to make lasers for the pacifistas. Knowing that, we can safely assume that the SSG will be able to use many different Devil Fruit abilities to combat the pirates. My guess is not only will Kizaru's power be used, but quite possibly Akainu's fruit along with other admirals and marines. What if a golden Buddha robot is walking around? Or a robot that has gravity powers? What if they have pirates who are imprisoned that they take their abilities and powers from as well? You currently have Doflamingo, who's imprisoned by the world government, so who's to say that they don't take his string fruit and apply that to one of the pacifistas? The possibilities are endless, but I think there are a few more pieces we need to put together. So first, let's talk about the base of the SSG. The pacifistas were robots that we can safely assume were created from metals that were stronger than steel, but nothing too crazy. We know that it was a little stronger than steel because Zoro was barely able to cut it pre-time skip, and the other Straw Hats were barely able to damage it. But after the time skip, the Straw Hats absolutely demolished it. My guess is the new SSG are made from Wappo metal. Wappo metal was created by Wappo and gained him not only a successful business and vast fortune, but the world nobles actually gave him a kingdom once again. Wappo metal was used by Frankie to create his Frankie Shogun. My guess is that this metal is what is used in order to create the SSG. If not the Wappo metal, then possibly a higher grade of metal that Wappo would have created after he already created Wappo metal. Why else would you bring Wappo back to create a special kind of metal? I think that's a storyline and a plot thread that has some significance because every little thing in this story has a purpose. And this could be Wappo's purpose. The next piece is who is the model based after? Initially, my thoughts were Akainu, which could be the case, but thinking more about it, what if Vegapunk figured out a way to not only give the SSG the ability to use Devil Fruit abilities, but what if they have the ability to become the Devil Fruit? In other words, a Logia. What if the SSG not only has a strong metal base, but when attacked without Haki, the attack doesn't affect them due to the use of a Logia ability? That would be super dangerous, but we have Vegapunk out here recreating devil fruits. Momonosuke has Kaido's fruit, and he's doing all this crazy scientific things. He's figuring out how to feed inanimate objects devil fruit. Who's to say that he can't give a Logia ability to the SSG weapon? There's so much to speculate on what kind of creation the SSG will be, but another form of speculation is what will it bring to the story? And what I believe will happen is quite poetic in two fashions, but go separate directions. The SSG will not only be a weapon, but a plot device. The first option is to split the world government. What we know about the pacifistas are they are under the control of the world government and unequivocally follow their commands. I believe that the SSG might follow the command of the world government to a fault, only following the type of justice it is programmed to follow. I believe it's absolute justice like a Kainu, which doesn't discriminate between friend or foe. There is already a rift in the Marines, and I believe this weapon will go against Marines who will make decisions that the SSG is programmed to combat. So I believe that there will be an event where innocent people are hurt and injured due to the absolute justice that the weapon will dish out. And I think it will cause Marines who are good at heart, like Garp, Kobe, Smoker, I think it will cause them to lash out against their superiors and cause that final tear in the Marines and draw a line in the sand. I think the other option is interesting, but not super likely. But what if Vegapunk is connected to the revolutionaries like we all speculate, and he installs a switch that allows the revolutionaries to take control of the weapons? That would definitely be interesting, but it takes away from the huge threat that looms over the world with the terrifying new weapon. That definitely would be very interesting, but it takes away from the huge threat that looms over the world with this terrifying new weapon. Whichever way this new threat and weapon will be used against the world, especially with the tyrannical world government, is going to be super intense to see unfold. So what do you all think? What is the SSG and what is it made of? Do you think the SSG will cause a split between the Marines, or will Vegapunk use it to his advantage? Let me know in the comment section below. Thank you all for listening. Please remember to like, share, and subscribe. See ya.